for him. Jokic from the wing, butter. Speaking of confidence, Ingles had that rim halfway down and out. The long pass complete to Grant. Touchdown, Denver. John Elway couldn't have done it much better than that.
Cue up that funky music.
Is a winner's lounge.
All in the air for horns. Give me an eagle screech. Give me a motorcycle.
Let's troll the jazz. Some
funky jazz music for game one. Welcome in everybody to the Winners Lounge. Everything. Just throw them all out. Oh my God! I hope you guys are feeling this like I am feeling it. Guys, I honestly, I might go take a nap after this.
What?
And I just woke up not too long ago. I'm saying I used up a week's worth of energy just in the fourth quarter. And I was sitting.
And then Jamal Murray just injected it right back into my veins, and how I'm ready to run through a wall.
Yo, I'm legit gonna die. Like this is the end. This is my farewell.
We're joking, but we're also being serious. Welcome in. Of course, guys. I'm Adam Oz. I'm joined, of course, by D-Line Co.
Let's go.
Oh man, that was disappointing. Of course, Brendan Vogt.
Your balls will thank you.
I don't even know if that's correct. Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. And then, of course, we're bringing in from the Broncos. We had to bring him in from the Broncos beat. It's RK.
Let's go!
He's got bringing that big lock energy, dude.
Nice.
Guys, while watching this game, I simultaneously remembered how much I missed the Denver Nuggets and how much I just didn't want to live anymore. It's like the full gauntlet of emotions inside of one game.
Like a real gamut.
A real gamut, you might say. But Mike, I mean, honestly, the finish to this game, we can forget about the rest of the game. We're going to talk about all the negative Nancy details. There was a lot of them in this game. We're going to save that for when Harrison shows up. I just want to talk about the close of this game, and where else can I start but Jamal Murray? Guys, Jamal Murray and Jokic as a tandem have taken over games a lot. Jokic has taken over games fourth quarter, and we've seen Murray do it. I don't think we've ever seen this. To me, this might be the quintessential Jamal Murray close. Maybe not overall game, but close to a game. Am I going too far because I'm feeling all kinds of emotions?
No. The ascension is complete. Jamal Murray has become a god amongst men. We don't have to fear for him anymore. Now it's just a matter of how many points will he score and how much of the game will he take over.
So Murray had 36 points, and I think they all came within the course of about 4 total game minutes. I mean, there was like a 1-minute stretch in the first half, and then there was this 3-minute stretch in the fourth that was just incredible. I mean, is that the big takeaway? Is it Jamal Murray?
Yeah, and not just that he did it, but when did he do it? I mean, the Nuggets have 2 closers, guys. Jamal is an inconsistent player for his talent level at times.
Maybe less so, though.
Certainly less so of late. But my point is, he's actually consistent in a close game when it's tight. And to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Mitchell and what he was doing in that moment, you cannot express how big that was.
Enormous.
And what a big, what a BDE moment it was for our boy.
I feel like he saw Mitchell entering that zone, and there was like jealousy. He's like, no, I want to be there.
Yeah.
And he's just like, now I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go there because he's there. I'm going to get there, and now I'm there. To me, that's half of the biggest takeaway. To me, the biggest takeaway is that Donovan Mitchell just gave you the best he has.
Yep.
Man.
He threw everything he has at you.
Yep.
He made everything, and it wasn't good enough. Not enough.
One thing, a nice little L there.
Take that L on the way out. Mitchell, L.
We're going to talk about some of the Mitchell stuff because as much as I think he had himself a game, I don't know that. Hey, look, 57 points.
Wait, what's the other take here?
I was going to say that. I don't know that he's not going to have a lot of big games should the game go the way that it did this way. Torrey Craig fouling out and them not having anybody else to throw at him. But your point, I think, is so valid. Jamal Murray, I thought, played within the flow of the offense. He had that explosion in the first quarter or the second quarter where he missed an open layup or didn't take an open layup, and then he was like, screw this, I'm scoring. And that was great. But other than that, I do think there was a little bit of a like, okay, Donovan Mitchell is taking over this game. What are we going to do? Jokic not quite having it tonight, although he did finish with a good number. But this was a bad Jokic playoff game. And Jamal Murray just said, don't worry, boys, I got it. And, I mean, does this – can we count on this for Jamal Murray?
Yes. That was not a Herculean effort. Like, that was so methodical.
This was a Herculean effort.
It was like a methodical
Hercules, but it was a Herculean effort.
No, but it wasn't like he was just hitting shots where you're like, he shouldn't be hitting that. He was just like very calm, just like a serial killer.
Oh,
He just,
actually,
came in and just like hit it and hit it and hit it. Like it wasn't like, dude, how is he hitting these? It was like, yeah, he should be hitting all of them.
That's
and he is.
to your point. He was hitting shots that he hits.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like Donovan Mitchell going off from 3 is not something you can count on.
Nope.
You can. When Murray is going, you can count on him making those shots.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. And I think Mitchell's the same. Those two players are kind of the same. Their rhythm, you start getting some of that confidence. But Murray, I don't know how you guys felt, but in that fourth quarter when he started, I don't know if it was 1 in a row, 2 in a row, when it was, when I was just like, I kind of want him shooting
Give
it
him the ball
every time. Like
every time.
And I get there was a little bit of an uncomfortable moment when he had scored like 9, 10 in a row, and I was like, man, now they have to just keep going to him because I don't know what else is going to go. But at the same time, I just felt like, okay, nobody can stop him when he's in the zone, and I mean, oh my God.
The only thing I'm hoping for now is that the winner shot is like 85% NyQuil. Like I need like a.
I know, that's what I'm
I
saying.
need like
You laughed at me earlier. This is what I'm saying. I need a downer. I'm like so ramped up.
I had 2 sips of my Strava cold beer there, and I was like,
Yeah,
maybe I don't need more right now. I think I'm running pretty hot.
Yeah, I'm amped. Everybody, we need everyone in the comments just to chime in, so we know you're okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes
Mark
Murray,
yourself safe in the comments.
Everybody's chiming in. I'm
Just
seeing
mark
them come up.
yourself
Big
safe,
Dub. I
please.
see you, Nemanja.
I mean,
greetings, Serbia.
Take the L on the way out, and anytime someone says it, I'm
Boom.
playing.
There we
That's
go.
right. Every time. I love it.
Like 5 or
Oh, I love it, baby. I love it. Before we hold your thought here for 1 second, because we do have to pay the quick bill. I have to mention this show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. You can use the promo code DNVR. And by the way, we have a new bit every time to help me remember this. Eric, you have to log on to DraftKings. You have to place a live bet.
Okay.
And it has to be a bet that pays off before the end of the show. So it needs to be something that happens
It has
here.
to pay off.
It has to pay off.
Do I have to keep dipping in if it doesn't pay?
No. Well, okay, it doesn't have to pay off. You're right. It either
Well,
has
listen,
to
I picked the Nuggets up when they were down, and DraftKings made them the favorite somehow, or I mean the dog for a minute.
yeah.
So got that. Got
somehow.
one-
I thought they were the dog for a minute there.
You're the dog.
Oh, I am the dog.
You could go in this. You could get like the first half in this Nets.
Oh,
Raptors
baby, look at
game.
this. Look at this.
Oh, God.
yeah, that's what I
Oh.
need.
A bucket.
There's
of
nothing I
Yeah.
needed more than this. Producer guy, DNVR is the freaking best, man. Producer guy,
All right,
producer
let's see.
Alley, incredible.
Live in game.
Hide those labels.
Yeah. That's
we
the
rep
only thing.
Breck. We'll just say it
We rep Breck, but I'll drink this because
as we
it's free.
stall for weed.
All right, so I wanted to go to your.
Take that L on the way out.
Later on. What was your take here?
Well, real quick on Jamal Murray, I think often he does have to work so hard to score, but when he gets in a rhythm, it's hard for him not to score.
Yeah.
And we do forget, I mean, Jokic is so consistent, MPJ sort of wakes up hot. We kind of forget, like, when Jamal gets hot, you should put the ball in his hands as much as any of those 3 guys.
Yeah.
But I think to RK's Donovan Mitchell point, it's not just that he went off in a really efficient manner. And Mitchell is not like, it's one thing to say, is he going to get 40? Is he going to get 50 every time? But is he going to do it on as few shots as he did? I just think between the way MPJ got schooled by Ingles, between the way Mitchell played, you're kind of looking at this like, that was the script for a Utah win.
100%.
That was their script for a win, and they lost that game.
This is both. If you're a Utah Jazz fan, this is both a punch in the gut and a kick in the balls at the
Yeah.
exact same time. It's like a double feature.
Which has you ever had that happen to you?
I've never had that specific thing
not
happen.
great.
Yeah,
It
it's
could
not
be
great.
like in one swoop, like an
Yeah, it gets
uppercut
both.
clips both.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is something to that. I mean, look, we knew when Mike Conley wasn't going to be there, it was going to take that effort from Mitchell. You knew that guys just have a hard time doing that time and time again. I mean, Ingles was great, to your point. Rudy Gobert, I think, outplayed Jokic in this game in aggregate. Jokic was very good down the stretch, but I think you need more from Jokic going forward in that match, specifically in that matchup. And for this to end that way with specifically one player sort of just kind of again and again and again, to me, that's psychologically it's tough. But you know what? I don't think you can count your chickens. I don't by any means think the series is over. Do you get that sense?
No, but another point that adds to this, I think, is earlier you said, okay, Jokic didn't have his best, so
Look at this
Jamal
comment.
stepped up and
Very Danny Tanner like, cleaning up the mess. That's so great. Let's keep them going.
Jokic didn't have his best, and Jamal stepped up in his place. The Jazz don't have that, I don't think. Like, they don't have a guy who they can
Yeah.
just, Donovan Mitchell goes cold in overtime. Then what? They're dead.
Right.
And so, like, that's what I think. That's what I think is the big storyline of this. It might be the storyline of this series. Is the Nuggets have 2 guys they can turn to. For the Jazz, if Donovan isn't like that, these games are going to be over quickly. In my opinion.
Very quickly. Who else do they have to go to?
I mean, look at there. There's the mail form corner. Did we talk about the mail form? I don't remember.
No, someone
us.
just wanted us.
Just
someone
wanted
said,
us to use
someone
the
said
graphic.
stoked on the playoff win, but can we just skip to the mail form?
Like, just
why
play the
not?
damn hits already.
Just play the hits. Yeah.
We don't want the new album.
Man, so we were talking before the final 5 minutes of this game about who the king of the game was, and we were like, we're gonna have to make it Mitchell king of the game before this. But no, it's so clearly. I mean, we could throw if you have it, you could throw it up there now. It's Jamal Murray. He's the king of the game. He's the emperor of the game.
He's the king of the Jazz. He's the king.
He
of
might
Utah.
be the god of the game.
He's the Grand Wizard of Utah or whatever.
Well,
they
David
have
E
there.
says Jamal Murray was a 10 of 10. I agree.
What?
It's a
The
slip
what?
of the tongue. Let's be clear.
What did he say?
We don't know. Nothing.
He got excited with the names.
We have Mitch here. It says, can you tell us what the funky music track
I know, everybody always asks me that, and I don't know if I should share it. I
Don't
think
share
that's a
it.
DNVR Nuggets
share it.
exclusive, and it's a DNVR Nuggets exclusive, and you just have to listen to the pod
If
over
you
and
want
over
to
and
hear
over
it,
again.
cross your fingers for a Nuggets win,
Wait,
baby.
just
Screen record the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, just Shazam the podcast.
Just Shazam the podcast. Let's talk about Jokic's night. You know, it's weird because he did come up clutch, sort of. Like, there were some very big clutch moments. His fourth quarter was by far the best quarter of the game, which it was important. But at the same time, he did miss a couple shots. He missed the game winner, and he was a little bit up and down. Eric, how do you evaluate his night?
We're talking about Jamal.
We're talking about Nikola. Okay, Brendan, how do you evaluate Nikola
Take a
Jokic's
lap.
night? He's just in his own world
I'm
right
sorry,
now.
dude,
Just,
I'm literally like my head.
Drink a beer,
Let me
dude.
jump,
I mean,
let me
have
jump
a
back
beer.
in. Hold on. How do I evaluate Nikola Jokic's night? He started off. He was absolutely locked in. He had his hair cut. He had
We
his
don't need
black
to like
uniform.
chronologically.
wow, this is gonna
I'm
take
just
till
telling you, like,
Christmas.
Draft
we
night.
started out. You're not even part of it. We invited you. You're gonna scold me here. So he came in and he showed me exactly what I wanted to see. He was poised. He was powerful. And then he tailed off a little bit. He started to defer a little bit more than I wanted. And then he came up strong in the end. It was playoff Jokic. It was everything that I wanted, everything we can expect. And we're here, baby. Let's go.
So I think anyway, I think there was going to be a game where Gobert did play well. I don't outplay Jokic, play up to his level, make it end.
Playing up to his level is outplaying him, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what happened
Considering
tonight, yeah.
what you can expect from them, a good but not dominant performance from Jokic.
Yeah.
But I don't like when that happens. You don't worry. I honestly think you think, all right, that's the outlier.
Yeah.
And the guys around him were good enough. And to me, that's the story.
The outlier is Jokic ends up scoring 30 and almost
Hits the game winner.
Almost.
I
It's
know,
the game
I know it is
Man.
pretty funny that his bad night was 29,
29.
10 points. Only 3 assists.
I-
He did.
remember when I said he was
screw
gonna
my
score
bet
30?
on the. I could have won
Triple-double,
$170 for
yeah.
free if he would have hit the triple double. So
true.
a little sour.
I said he's going to average 30 for this series. You all looked at me cross-eyed.
Well, then he better pick up the pace.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna.
31 next game.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where else to go here with it.
The only thing that could have made it better, like the whole game better, is if he just makes that buzzer beater.
No doubt.
And it's just like you
No
got.
doubt. Although that
Getting into
that-
overtime
that
and having
overtime was-
Murray just keep.
Just the overtime demoralization, the beatdown, like where you saw the Jazz run completely out of gas. It turns out their gas was literally. I mean, we already knew it. All they had was Donovan Mitchell, and he was gassed in the overtime. They gave it to Joe Ingles, who throws it out of bounds like the Keystone Cops. Everyone running around with their heads cut off, like they don't know what they're doing. Like Gobert just falls down, like it was comedy.
Yeah. How about the DNVR bar today too? We were at capacity again, responsibly socially distanced, but man,
Limited
people were loving it, man. I mean, it's fun when the thing I like about this bar. Okay, I'm going to talk about the bar for a second. The thing I like about it is where else in Denver, in any place, can you get like in-game chants?
Oh yeah.
There was
Nowhere
there
else.
was the Jamal Murray for 1, 2, 3, like the whole game, just unprompted. There's nobody leading this. It's just everybody here is here to like get like all in their emotions, and this
Yeah.
was such a game to be in your emotions.
And yeah, if you want to get your elbow aggressively bumped by me,
Really? Is that
come
you?
here,
Well,
come here during a game.
And you know what's funny with Nuggets fans? There's a nervous energy at the start of games. It's understandable.
I
It's
don't
not
know
a-
if I'll ever get rid of it. I
Yeah.
hope so.
I could tell. I don't think you're going
know
to
what it
because
means?
you walked into this series against Utah without their 2 leading
It
scorers.
means that you
Shaking.
Am I
care.
wrong?
It means
Shaking.
that you care.
Yeah, it does. It does. Thank you.
You care.
Thank you.
I care a lot too. Like this means a lot to me. We believe we've been preaching this for the entire season. Like we were going to see the Nuggets like come and be who we all expected them to be, and they were.
It is true that I care. My energy is akin to watching my kids when they bike downhill. Like like I'm proud. I'm like, go for it, be brave. But I'm like, oh god, if they fall, they're gonna totally break their leg.
My favorite part about the bar, or maybe not my favorite part, but underrated. Obviously, everyone loves when it gets loud in the good times, but in the intense moments, it gets real quiet.
Yeah,
like, there's
yeah.
like Jokic is shooting that free throw late. To
Oh,
get
yeah, it's like we're all.
These are all, dude. This is a group of diehards. These are people these aren't people just chattering. They just showed up. Like people here.
Guy,
watch
can I get
the
my
game.
cord? I'm sorry to make it.
When
dude,
Millsap
you
hit
guys are
that 3 in the
incredible.
second
This
half,
production
with
staff.
like a few minutes left in the third.
Real quick, there's a lot of new people on the track.
Oh.
First time.
Oh, welcome.
Oh,
We're
welcome,
shouting out all the
You guys have been. Well,
time.
first of all, you guys have been missing out.
Well,
Second
hey, a
of
lot
all,
of
welcome
them
in.
probably can't catch the show live, right? So
Yeah,
we're
that's true.
stoked to have you here with us, and we're going to be doing these win or lose after every game.
my God.
Have been.
Don't worry, I'm not always here.
Yeah.
There's this
Wind will
other guy, he's
return
way better.
eventually.
You're watching us on Twitter, give it a retweet. If you're watching it on YouTube, go ahead and give that thing a
yeah.
like, give it a subscribe. You're going to be here. You're not going to want to miss all the videos we got going on.
The biggest winner of today is Serbia.
Yeah,
Serbia
I
got
know.
to watch this in prime
yeah.
time. Got a glorious, triumphant win.
I wonder if Jokic had some nerves knowing that all of Serbia would be watching in prime time.
I actually had this private little take that I kept to myself where he was wanting to show out for his country. Like,
I love it.
People.
Oh my God, do we have that? Can we throw it up? We have a brand new shirt, and it is straight fire. It is absolutely fire. The
gorgeous.
Sambor shuffle. Look at this.
This is some of Eric's
Best work,
finest
yeah.
work.
This is prime Eric, you might say.
It's not easy to get like the form of the male form in
Throw it back up,
perfectly
male
like
form.
that. Like look how you nailed the way that exactly the way Jokic looks when he shoots that shot.
And that shirt looks like it should be too busy, but it's clean. I mean, the way you got it all on there, it's just beautiful.
I love this shirt, man. I cannot wait for it to come in. Probably
Rep your favorite player, rep your favorite team, and rep your 2 favorite cities at the
you
same
guys see
time
that,
with this
that
shirt.
MFer Chris Marlowe trying to take credit for this? I can't believe I'm gonna have to send him the receipts. I
You should
can't
just
believe it.
fist fight him,
I, will,
dude.
I might have to.
That would be good
He's a great
content.
Great athlete though.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
that's
a
true.
gold medalist.
Gold medalist.
Don't do it. Don't
I'm
fight
probably
Marlo.
not gonna do it.
It's a bad look through and through.
You know, on the other.
People are asking if we ship to Serbia. Say yes.
Of
Oh,
course we
yes.
ship. Are you kidding me? We put a Serbia flag on there. Of course we ship to Serbia.
I think we're exclusively shipping to Serbia.
They also want to know when the Serbian poker shirts come.
Oh well, we'll see how the rest.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll see how the rest of tonight goes.
Guys, there's a lot more to talk about in this game, including Jeremy Grant and Paul Millsap. Some negatives. Torrey Craig, I think, was like such a positive, but a negative in that he wasn't on the court more. That's to me is the key of this. It's really the key of the series, I feel. We're gonna get to all that, but before we do, let's take a quick break. Also, guys, don't forget Harrison Wynn's going to be joining us show, telling us what Michael. What do we predict Michael Malone saying in his post game scrum?
I think he's just going, oh hell yeah!
Oh, I don't. I do not.
You think he's going to freak out about the point of attack defense and Mitchell going for 50?
I think he's going to say all the things that I said could sink us happened in this game, and we're a little bit. Let's not lie. We're a little bit lucky that it didn't sink us.
Yeah, I would hope he honestly rallies around just that, like, that was the game that they could have given away and they didn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt it. I doubt
People
it.
are asking if we ship to Norway or other.
We ship to everywhere.
If
We
you-
ship
if you-
worldwide.
If you have a mailbox, we ship it. Which
Anywhere-
means nowhere in the U.S.
Anywhere but Salt Lake City.
Yeah, we don't.
Topical.
You know,
Let's
what? I
do
think we
politics.
do. We ship to
Let's do
Salt Lake
politics.
City. You know, I bet you we get a few. We have some Utah fans out there, so I'm doing it. No,
that
people
L
are
on the
saying he's
way
going to
out.
say take that L on the way out. There's no way he's saying that after this game.
Yeah, so take one guess what we're going to talk about. Can you guess? At the DNVR Sports Bar, we talk about Denver sports, and we talk about Breckenridge Brewery,
Oh,
the
there we
official
go.
beer
Yeah.
of DNVR. Ooh, balls, yeah, that was a good second guess.
We need to
We're talking about 3 things.
Yeah, the mail form.
Hey,
You're
we're
just like, shut up, guys.
yeah. I don't know how Wynn does this. We're supposed to hype up that Mile High City Copper Lager, but it's sold out in the state of Colorado. So good luck. If you're out of state, hop on the Breck Beer Locator.
Oh, yeah.
Just punch that into Google. You'll find it, no problem. But if you're in state and you're looking to get something else since that Mile High Copper Lager's out, how about the Avalanche Amber Ale?
Delicious.
Classic Breck brew, been around for years.
3 weeks away from it, but
delicious,
delicious.
and thematic.
No, but you know what? The Avs are in the playoffs, and it's out of season for that too, but they're there. So let's
Man, you sold me. I'm getting an Avalanche Amber.
I told
Yeah,
you,
get
right?
that
It's a
Avalanche
delicious
Amber.
Dude, that
thematic
was-
beer.
Drink an avalanche while watching the ads.
Allie, we've covered this, so you just sold me on it. You don't have to double sell me.
check your local liquor store,
Yeah,
punch in that Breck
yes.
Beer
Yeah.
Locator, or just come to the DNVR bar in Colfax. We got it all on tap.
Speaking of selling out, we sold so many damn RK specials down there that you can't even get a hot peek right
The
now.
RK special, unbelievable, man. The
We
RK
also-
that makes me so mad.
We're also stoked to talk about WGT Golf, World Golf Tour, the #1 rated mobile golf game.
We're giving away a
in
shirt.
America.
Maybe it'll be a somber shuffle shirt. I don't know this weekend.
Yeah, so this weekend there
think
will
it's a
be
shirt. I
another
don't
event. We're gonna get.
We
Eric,
actually, actually did not have an event this
That's
last
our bad.
weekend.
We dropped the ball.
When we debuted the idea of the Asterix Open that was going to happen last weekend, it did not happen. That's the asterisk. It's happening this weekend.
There we go.
Oh.
It's happening
Beautiful.
this weekend. We've
Now,
already got,
now you sold me on that.
Galaxy
I'm in.
frame.
So you can hop in that if you're in any of our clubhouses, DNVR 1, DNVR, DNVR 2, and then DNVR 3. There's a lot of spillover. So if you're looking to sign up, punch in DNVR 3 to your country club.
So, all right, let's get back into this game, guys. To me, another major storyline. I mean, a little bit negative Nancy stuff, guys. I'm not trying to go too down, but one of the things for me, and I wrote this in my preview. In fact, the preview is still pertinent, by the way, the series preview. I did a big, the list, a bunch of clips explaining why I think this series has certain pivot points in it. One of them, and maybe the biggest one, is can Torrey Craig guard Donovan Mitchell? And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. Torrey Craig tonight, what was he, a plus 10 in 21 minutes. The problem was that 21 minutes. And I put this out on Twitter. Torrey Craig, the first time they played the Jazz this year, Donovan Mitchell has 4 points. 4 points. In the second game, Donovan Mitchell has 18 points. In the third game, Donovan Mitchell, you got to go?
I gotta run. I gotta go do my real job.
All right, Arky, right in the middle of my point here.
Nuggets in 4.
Okay. There you go. In the third game, Donovan Mitchell has a bad game until Torrey Craig fouls out, and then Donovan Mitchell takes over fourth quarter and overtime. Right? You guys with me here? Or
Yeah.
just
absolutely.
So, and then in this game, 21 minutes, the Nuggets are a plus 10 in that, but they're not when he's off the court. Torrey Craig is actually crucial, and I wrote this before. I'm not just saying this now in this game. He's crucial in this series, but he has to avoid screening fouls. He has to avoid full court pressure fouls. He has to avoid the dumb ones, and it's just I don't know if he can because he plays.
Yeah, he plays like hair on fire.
So,
but the Jazz know that about him.
You tweeted this in the game, so I was going to ask you, is that a thing you can game plan for?
Well, you can't game plan on a player making bad fouls, right?
But can you put him in those situations, or is there something you can do? Or
he has to just know, and I
Yeah.
think it's really, really tough. But he just has to know you are so crucial to this. And he knocked down. I mean, Torrey Craig, you have to give. I would give his game an A for the moments he was on the court. It was like an A+ game. He goes 3 of 5 from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
That's found money.
Oh my God.
He had a couple rebounds that were, I mean, like he always does. And then, like I said, he makes life at least hard on Donovan
the
Mitchell.
Audible groans, the audible no, yes moments that were Torrey Craig shooting those threes. Absolutely found money. And I mean, the funny thing is
He's
like,
huge in this series.
Yeah,
He might
without
be the
question.
third most important player in the series.
It's really crazy. I mean,
For Denver.
he went out, and the Nuggets also then scored only 19 points in that third quarter. Like everything sort of fell off. Like the wheels just fell off in that.
Well,
quarter.
so
he
George
is.
Carlos talked about this on the Keeping It 1000 pod as we welcome in Harrison Wind here. Just spoke with the Nuggets. I'll get to you here in
Harrison.
1 second. But I talked to this on the George Carl about the team, whether you know it consciously or not. There's this idea of flow. There's this idea of like we know what we're supposed to be doing. We know how the game's supposed to go. And when one of your players that's a key player fouls out or has to go to the bench a minute into the third quarter, I do think there's this psychological,
I agree.
oh, everything's thrown out the window now. Everything's different. And I think that's as much as anything is what happened in that third quarter, as well as there's nobody else to step in and guard Mitchell.
without Gary, I mean, it's crucial that he stays on the floor. And Jeremy Grant got cooked tonight in that matchup.
So-
It was interesting
so
that the
did
Nuggets
Dozier,
went
yeah.
with him down the stretch.
I mean, just
On-
hoping
on Mitchell.
just hoping the length makes it hard. I mean,
And I think it did. I mean,
Yeah.
Mitchell continued to make shots, but he didn't make all of them. And I know that sounds dumb, but the guy had 57 points. He made all of them for like 15 minutes
Right.
of game
Mitchell's
clock.
finishing ability is disgusting. He
Yeah.
is so good.
That dude is-
around the rim.
He's also
nasty.
completely unafraid of Jokic in the rim. And in large part because he has Gobert behind him. And all right, so Harrison, I'm actually very curious. We were debating this earlier. What did Michael Malone have to say on his press conference just now?
Well, what was the debate over?
Well, so whether he was amped up and excited or if he was like miserable, and I said he was probably miserable, happy, content with the win, but everything he said leading up to this turned out to be true.
I wouldn't say he was that miserable.
Okay, great.
I wouldn't say he was that miserable. Obviously,
So it's just me.
all right.
look,
Harrison.
obviously there's a
Sorry, we
got
match head to toe, and we have the same leg cross right now.
Oh
It's
my God,
just-
this is so adorable.
it's
This
brutal.
is so adorable. Can you guys show
I'll
off
go.
the pants?
I'll go first.
Show off the
I
shirt.
gotta-
Show off the pants. Oh
guys
my
would-
God.
this is an exclusive DNVR polo. I don't even think it's
I'm
available.
looking. I'm hoping to see sort of like a wrestling match to the death between you two.
Ooh, that would
there
be
can only
cool.
be one.
Wait, we're so different. Why can there only be one between me and Harrison?
What was I saying? Well, so like, look, the
He wasn't
Nuggets
that
have to
miserable.
clean up a lot of stuff defensively. I asked Malone about, how much does he have to go to the drawing board after Mitchell's 57, and he said like, yeah, we obviously need to do better, but if Mitchell scores 57 and we win, I'll take that every time. But I mean, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Considering Denver was up, or Denver was down 109-105 when that 8-second violation happened in the
Dude,
fourth quarter.
wow.
With just under 2
Low
minutes
key,
left.
the play of the game.
Is that
I
the
mean,
least Nugs life call from a referee of all
Really-
time?
it really
it might be
was.
up
Things
there,
have
dude.
changed.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
love
the
it.
call that goes the other way.
Eric
10
got
out of
mad
10
at my
times.
dumb tweet the other day, which was admittedly dumb, and I deleted it because the mentions were really, really bad. Hey, you
Good.
successfully
End the
shamed
narrative,
me.
dude.
End the narrative. It was a good one. It was a good one.
So
I'm not even going to bring up what the narrative was. That's how ended it is.
Screw the narrative. So we'll see what happens on Mitchell. I mean, the story, though, Jamal Murray, of course. I was trying to think about
Look
what
at this
the
tweet. Look at this
hottest
tweet. Let me
is.
interrupt you real
Death
quick to tell you.
taxes.
Harrison's getting interrupted.
Yeah, for real.
Harrison, what did Malone have to say? Get to it. Jeez.
I was trying to think about what the hottest Jamal Murray has ever been was. Because you had the game 2 against the Spurs. You had this game, the Celtics 48, the Suns 47. I don't know, but he gets hot like this.
He does.
This or game
routinely.
2, right? It's this or the Spurs game. I can't.
Certainly the most important.
Is part of Murray's growth that he can stay here? I mean, I'm not saying Murray is this type of player, but Damian Lillard lives in that space for months at a time. Steph Curry lives in that space for months at a time. Like, Murray gets there, and he just has moments like this. Like, is that part of his trajectory where it's like he just becomes a guy that is you? Sometimes he just shoots those shots 3 times in a row and makes them way more than the defense can just give up.
I think he can be, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Why
dude,
not?
This is the ascension of Jamal Murray. You should expect this from him from now on. I'm
I
telling
love
you.
it.
Oh, yeah.
You should expect this from Jamal Murray from now on. As the Jazz expect that kind of performance out of Donovan
Yeah.
Mitchell, as other teams
Are you there?
expect it, dude. You can it doesn't matter what came before. There's a different look
There's
in
growth.
this man's eyes.
There is a different. I will 100% agree with this.
That is
There
true.
is a
That
different
is a
look in
fact.
Jamal Murray's
That is
eyes,
a fact.
and it has been since the bubble began. It really was since he returned.
Yep.
Before the hiatus, he actually had this going a little bit early.
I don't think he can ever live there, but he might. He's got a summer home there, yeah.
He's got a
And
summer
as long as the baseline
vacations.
as long as the
got
baseline's high
timeshare.
enough, right? We know he can dip into that. Not just dip into that in the fourth quarter in overtime.
I'm so impressed with Jamal.
So I mean, I think it's really more about can he give you those games in spotty fashion when you have MPJ and Yoke on the floor? And to me, the answer is a resounding yes. And more to the point, I really think he's making a bigger impact even when he's not on those scoring runs than we've seen to this point in his career.
It was such an interesting
King of the
Jamal
game,
Murray
baby.
night,
King
I
of the
thought.
game.
And there he is, our DraftKings King of the Game.
King of the
Presented
game.
by
36
DraftKings
points.
Sportsbook.
Holy
36,
smokes.
5, 9. Somebody in the comments tell us how many he had in the first half. Because he definitely had 20 plus in the second half.
Wow, he had 36 points.
But this was such an interesting Jamal game because he didn't have a big impact in the first quarter. Then he throws that turnover in the lane. Remember, he got a little spooked by Rudy Gobert, I thought.
Yep.
And then he scored 12 straight.
Yep.
And that got him going.
That was amazing. Yeah, that one time he passed up a wide open layup to try and kick it out to Jokic. It gets stolen, and then he was like,
14.
yeah, never again. And then he just scored the next 3 in a row. He's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
That was some old Jamal.
Yeah.
This is new Jamal.
Another.
He's a brawler. Can I say that?
Yes.
This is the thing about him is that there's certain things maybe it can be touch or go. You know, sometimes when he gets cooking like that, and you think, okay, whatever. But push comes to shove, and your back is against the wall. That guy is not going down. You have to knock him out.
His shot was so pure going down the stretch.
Not touching anything but the net.
It's
String
so-
music.
It wasn't like get to the rim. Maybe I can get like a Jordan Clarkson. It bounces
Right.
into my hands.
Yeah.
I throw it up. Maybe it goes in. Like Jamal Murray was like. I mean, there was just
I
no
love
question.
the Jordan Clarkson
And the
slander.
more-
Just
the
throw it
more-
in there. Why not?
Complicated the shot was, the more difficult it looked, the more confident I was going in by the when he was stepping
Yeah.
back, I was just like, whatever, dude,
Yeah.
just let it
You
fly.
know it's in.
He
Yeah.
does love it to be this.
So another layer to the Jamal Murray game. He's going up against Donovan Mitchell. Him and Donovan Mitchell know each other.
Yeah.
There was a ton of trash talk tonight, Jamal said. And this is just my personal narrative that I'm building here. But Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell are both Adidas guys.
Oh,
both
I
Adidas
love this.
guys.
Let's put. We need a
Shoe
conspiracy corner or something
Conspiracy
conspiracy win a conspiracy corner.
They're both
But this
Adidas
is
guys.
a true conspiracy theory.
Donovan Mitchell has his own shoe with Adidas.
Yeah, he does.
Jamal Murray does not.
Wow.
Donovan Mitchell
That's right.
clearly.
God, you
Jamal
don't.
Murray is wearing Dames.
Jamal Murray clearly behind Donovan Mitchell in the Adidas hierarchy
Yeah.
right now. I wonder how much that fuels him.
What is the Jamal Murray gonna look like? Will it have like a little fuzzy afro kind of thing on the tongue? Like, what do we think?
You know what though? But in all seriousness, like it's not like Utah is this great market. Donovan Mitchell had the narrative behind him because he was so dynamic. He was the 13th pick and so dynamic. And Jamal Murray maybe a little bit slower. You know,
Malone also Mitchell like. Look, Rudy Gobert is really good, but I mean Mitchell kind of makes that team go.
Right. Yeah.
And Murray's obviously playing behind Jokic here.
If I'm the Cronkies, I'm working hard behind the scenes to get Adidas pushing them because you don't want guys saying I got to get out of Denver to get my shoe deal. You want the Cronkies working that saying, hey, this dude just outdealed your boy. When are we gonna get his shoe? This dude's dope as hell.
Man, do I wish you were the Cronkies.
And we know that like inner sponsorship shoe battles are real. Think about the classic battle between
Jeff Morton. We can't say this on live.
Yeah,
I guess we can. Jeff. Wow.
What, dude? Well, Leather Daddy.
I was
the
going to
king
bring
of
that
Thornton,
up.
ladies and gentlemen.
But think about
Let's talk about
the Denim
Denim Daddies. Now we got
all
Leather
right,
Daddies. The other Daddies.
Well, I had a joke. I don't know if it's worth it. You know what? I'm still going
Can
for
we
it.
talk about Jeff's
but think about
Periscope name?
the battle in between Steph Curry and all of the other people on Under Armour.
Right. Oh yeah.
we are.
I love this take though. I think it's true.
Along that vein, like I think we're 2 weeks away from Jamal Murray screaming, "Put some respect on my name." Like he's at that.
I'm saying it
territory.
for him, man. And I have been as hard as Michael Malone. I'm going to give credit here for myself about it, but the way Murray's played since
You're
being
taking
inside.
credit for being a jerk?
I'm taking credit for Jamal Murray being good.
I was so low on him
pushed it.
publicly for
Yeah.
long enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now I'm ready to come. No, I'm telling you, Jamal Murray keep up those types of moments, and I'm just there's a lot there. Even competing on the defensive end, I thought, although I don't think we can give anybody too much defensive credit tonight. I don't think that's in the cards. Let's move on to Denver's other superstar in the making. Not quite there, but Michael Porter Jr. tonight, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 13 shooting.
Yeah.
Does make 3 3-pointers, which I think was really they were all very important. He was the target. This happens, I think, to every young player, and I think it's sort of necessary. But one of the reasons I wasn't necessarily as high on Michael Porter right out of the package was I don't know that he's capable of being a great defender yet, and that's to be expected. He's a young, and this is why I think Michael Malone may be more nervous than we are about like, hey, put him out there, he could score 30. They targeted him every time. When he was on the court, they thought, okay, put him in the pick and roll, put him in the off-ball action where he has to make the read or the rotation, and it's hard. It's really hard when a team is picking at you. To me, that was one of the other main stories. Torrey Craig getting in foul trouble, Jamal Murray going nuclear, Michael Porter Jr. being the guy that the other team felt like they were winning when he was on the court. Did you see the same thing?
No, for sure. And I think a big storyline going forward for Denver is how can they defend the Jazz effectively with Murray, Porter, and Jokic on the floor? Like, that's going to be big. How can they get enough stops with those three on the floor together?
Yeah, it's true.
Because the Jazz are going to keep doing what they did tonight. You know, they had this game pretty much won, I thought. This
happened to Jamal Murray last year. And I thought that a large, sort of an under-discussed portion of that Portland series was just that. Like, Portland felt like Jamal Murray was the weak link, and then they go at him. Now, Jamal Murray, I think, has made himself a much better defender. He has more to go, but he's made himself much more passable. Michael Porter, he's going to have to make an enormous leap, I think, over the course of the series. Denver might get past Utah anyway, especially without Mike Conley. Well, I'm just saying, like
we immediately locked eyes on that.
No, but the Clippers. If teams can do this to Michael Porter to the point where it's like, okay, down the stretch we're gonna have to go with less shooting, less offense, but just because we can trust defensively, that might happen this entire playoff series. But I think it's a good thing. I'm actually thankful they're in position for this to happen because the tape's not gonna lie with Michael Porter.
I thought that was a great game one for him to have to go through.
Me too. Absolutely.
He saw a couple threes go down, which is huge for his confidence.
Yep.
But he was taken to school by Joe Ingles, perhaps the perfect type of player to do this. Lacks all the tools MPJ has, but has all the know-how to make it hell for him.
Joe Ingles is great tonight.
No Joe Ingles mixtapes on YouTube. You know?
Right. But
Porter also got blocked by Rudy Gobert twice on one possession, I think.
Right, yeah. But you know what? He's got to learn this. A, he's going to get targeted. B, it's not going to be as easy for him as it was in those seeding games. For him to get to learn that lesson in a winning effort, so instead of going home and stewing tonight or worrying or getting in his head, he can do what he did after game one in the seeding games, which is watch the tape, listen to his coaches, and say, here's where I need to get better.
Strong agree. I think he's built for it. I really do.
Me too. I think all things considered, that is far from a disastrous game one for MPJ.
I strongly agree.
Yeah. Great news, guys. I bet for the next basket to be
Using DraftKings Sportsbook?
to be a 2-pointer, and it was.
What did you win? A
Look
penny?
I
at that
bet
balance.
$10. I won
Look at that balance in
$13.50.
there.
Oh, wow. So you won $3.50.
$3.50. Thank you,
Wow,
DraftKings.
you are 2-0 for DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't forget, use promo
That's
code
how easy it is,
DNVR.
people.
Was there,
That's free money, baby.
was there any talk? Did Michael Porter speak after the game, and did anybody speak on Michael Porter after the game?
Porter did speak. I was not able to straddle both press conference rooms, so I did not hear him.
Okay.
Pretty sick how they do that.
Yeah, they
Wasn't able to stretch
You
it
have
out
to pick
out
who you want
both,
to talk
but,
to. All right, can we hit another break? Are you ready on the breaks, or do I need to buy you time?
Well, did we already do a break?
We already did one break.
Okay.
Brandon, can't you see Brandon still
On the
looking
other side, do we
shell-shocked
have
over there?
we have a highlights for Jamal Murray? We have
Deer
to have
headlights.
the highlight rule for Jamal Murray has to be like 30 minutes long. So let's take a quick break, and before we come back, on the other side, we're gonna relive Jamal Murray's magical, you might say, in the
Magical.
magical kingdom. He had a magical fourth
Not
quarter in
even-
overtime.
No, not magical. It was Jamal Murray's new expected output.
God, I just love that you're hammering this home. I hope you're right.
That'd
I
be
am
insane.
with it.
All right, let's
Might
go
win
to
a
let's
title
go to
if
a
we could
quick break.
expect
What do we
that.
got?
All right.
Yeah, you want it?
Oh,
please.
you
no,
want
no,
it.
no, no,
No,
no,
please.
Let me be
Oh,
clear.
wow.
I do not want it.
This is like some real like
I can't-
masochistic behavior.
I can't take
Who
Green
wants to
Mountain
get
Dental
beat?
from Harrison. This is his
I'll
room.
do one, you do the other.
All right,
Oh.
please. Green
Okay.
Mountain.
Tag
My personal favorite sponsor. Sorry to everybody else. Green Mountain Dental Group. Lindsay sitting over there just got her wisdom teeth out at Green Mountain Dental Group, I believe.
Did it go well, Lindsay?
You're doing great. Feel amazing.
Feeling great.
She's doing
She's
great.
so
folks.
wise.
Satisfaction
Look
guaranteed.
at Lindsay having wisdom removed, but being more wise for it.
I know, it's incredible.
C minus.
Yeah, no, F.
Anyways, if you guys get a cleaning, X-ray, and exam at Green Mountain Dental Group, they'll hook you up with a free Sonicare toothbrush.
Change your life.
Top of the line electric toothbrush, like $50 to $75
You guys
retail
can start
price.
brushing your teeth.
Yeah, game
Yeah.
changer.
Please
You don't have
do.
to use that crappy $2 toothbrush that you buy at King
Got it.
Soopers.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's terrible.
Green Mountain Dental Group.
2008.
Schedule a cleaning, X-ray, and exam. They will give you a free Sonicare toothbrush today.
Yeah, Joe Ingles uses a standard too.
Let's play Rate the Ad Read. I'd give that a 7 out of 10.
Oh, that was a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
baby.
come on. We have to give them some room for a vote over
And
here.
So, well, no, I don't want this. And so, from Wynn's favorite sponsor to mine, Strava Craft Coffee, the
Oh,
CBD
wow.
infused coffee that you can get. Look, you can get hot coffee, ground, whole beans, or at the DNVR bar, you can get their cold brew on tap.
He's selling all the
So
features.
that's
I like
iced
it.
coffee with CBD in there.
Now just
If
say something funny to sell it really
you
good.
if you experience some anxiety, some IBS, like Lord knows I do, and some joint pain, this will really ease you into the morning in a more relaxed and comfortable way. Get that bump from the coffee, but take the edge off. Get Strava Craft coffee
Yo, you
in
know
your
what?
life.
Actually, the greatest part of Strava is the subscription.
Because you can use DNVR 20 to get 20% off.
Every order.
Right. So you could do that off one order, or you could use that subscription towards their new subscription service.
Absolutely.
You get that
Lots of
20%
subscriptions
off
going on.
every single order, and you can choose to get your coffee delivered to you every 2, 4, 6, or 8 weeks.
Wow.
Colorado's own Strava. I love it. All right, guys. If you're tuning in, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to
love
subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't
We
forget
love
to
you.
comment after the show. Go and let us know. It was a
No,
good show. Give us a rating. Give us the David East 10 out of 10 show today, guys. I mean, we always appreciate
This
that
is
one.
this is a full.
This is a
David
full. I'm
East- David
pandering,
East 10 out
just
of 10, yeah.
begging.
Please, David.
But
David moved, by the way. Hope he's doing well.
I
Shout out
know.
David.
David literally moved east.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
wow.
Wow. You are terrible today.
I'm the worst.
All right, let's queue up. Do we have the highlights ready to go, or are we still looking for them?
They're right here.
Okay, let's queue up. Let's relive the
Perfect.
entire Jamal Murray
just watch
experience
the whole
today.
game again.
I kind of would almost do. These highlights were just completely off the chain. Are we getting an advertisement first? Is that what it was?
There yet. You guys keep distracting.
Oh,
As the Jamal Murray optimist of the group, I was very satisfied with.
Let's
this
take a
game.
look. These highlights
You
are all
can
gonna,
claim that.
these highlights are all going to come in the, like 4-minute span. It's incredible. We still waiting on them?
As we
I see
stall
them on my
for it.
screen.
Nope, hold on.
you guys.
Did you guys see the Nuggets
what's
game
going-
today?
You
How
guys,
about those Rockies?
you guys see what's going
All right.
online these days?
Jamal Murray, there it is in the little left. His left hand finishes are so good.
I think he's
he's
kind of
like-
ambidextrous.
And
Very-
look at-
I think
look
he's
at him,
very
like-
ambidextrous.
he's a little hobbled. He definitely hurt his ankle. He got.
Well,
Of course,
Eric,
Harrison
as
wins.
I have said
Harrison's wins
time
theory.
and time again,
That's great news for Denver.
Yeah, that's
Jamal
why he
Murray
went
comes
off.
alive
Yeah.
when he gets hurt.
Doesn't he kind of look
Oh,
like
this
a
is where he
cage
got.
fighter?
This is where he was like, "F it, I'm not passing anymore. I'm just going to shoot
Yeah,
like
this
3
was the
times in a row."
12-0 run here.
Oh, look at that little fake, the little left.
Fancy.
That left. That is such a hard left hand. I
know
don't
what-
think I can make that if I
Or the 12
20
straight
tries. I don't
points.
think I can
You
make
know what
that.
I'm
With Rudy Gobert there?
So
yeah,
in
with
on?
Rudy Gobert.
You know what I'm so in on? Like, this is how you know Jamal Murray has gone from boy to man. Like, he used to wear the full sleeve, the full arm, and now he just has one wristband.
Now he just wears muscles.
One
Now he just
wristband
wears
and
shoulders.
muscles.
Yeah, you don't hide those muscles, man.
I love it.
That great tan.
He looks like a UFC fighter. Dude.
Wow, look at this. And he gets down for it because he knew.
Baby.
My goodness. Oh, my God. Look at this fourth quarter. Pressure. Down 3. Are we down 3? Not anymore, baby. Unbelievable.
Oh,
All right, are we
bumped
tied?
him.
Is it tied down the stretch? Did you guys have a lead the whole game? Boom.
You better believe I was
Still
Put
has
him on
not hit
skates.
rim this
I was
game, I
bumping.
don't think.
rim.
I was bumping.
All right,
elbows
overtime.
I love
the
this
freeze move.
one,
I wrote
dude.
about this in the list.
What a
this was one of that
manipulation.
specific move I wrote about, snaking the screen and then coming back around with that freeze
We need
move.
more of this too. Pull up.
I
You're
mean,
dropping.
He was not going to miss at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, it was just like, get out of the way. He's scoring.
love.
And then look at this, just beautiful little assist.
Oh,
Jokic.
squish.
Oh my goodness. Fire and ice right here between
Yeah,
Jokic
I mean,
and Murray. Just
I-
he's dancing. You
I
knew it's in
have-
right now.
yeah.
this
Just
is
know,
this was
like, come
always
on.
in. Yeah.
I have written thousands and thousands and thousands of
Jeez, look
words
at
about
this
the
stuff.
Jokic Murray 2-man game.
Look at this. Look at
But-
this.
Maybe more than anyone alive. It's possible.
We still probably don't give it its proper due.
Yeah.
Look at
I
him.
mean,
Look
that-
at him.
What's he
that
saying?
Look
What's
at
he
this
saying?
man.
What's he saying?
Speak your truth, Jamal
unstoppable.
Murray.
What does he say?
Unbelievable.
Do we
Speak
have
your
any,
truth.
Do we have any lip readers, please?
He said, "Oh my God, Jamal Murray."
He said,
"Unbelievable."
He said, "Holy smokes, I'm having one heck of a game."
He said,
Yeah,
that
are we
boy
trying to
nice
go back so you can read his
about
lips?
himself.
Producer Allie thinks she can read his lips.
Let's get
He
this.
can't. I don't know what he said. We don't. We
Can't
don't
hold
have
me.
anybody. I
Can't hold me.
I mean,
All right, come on. Something. He should be talking.
My God.
You gotta
Take
be talking
that
after
down
that,
under.
dude.
all right, we got to move on from that adrenaline now to Jeremy Grant. I thought he was also very solid in this game. I think this is a Jeremy Grant series, and I think it's maybe not completely fair, but I do think talking about Jeremy Grant and Paul Millsap, they're going to share the court a little bit as they did tonight. But I think this
Yeah.
is a Jeremy Grant series. Paul Millsap to me is really, I don't want to say concerning, but 3 of 10 tonight. He was a -3, the only guy in the starting lineup to be a negative. He had 3 rebounds, 3 rebound zeros. I mean, he really just didn't
Yeah, dude.
contribute a ton.
Dad,
I didn't think.
Dad out there looked a little bit like my dad out there.
Yeah, he is really, really dad. He went full dad.
Yeah, as the Paul Millsap union leader of these parts, it was not a great feel or look for me today.
Yeah.
But I do think if you watch some of those possessions, defensive possessions back, and just watch Paul Millsap, you realize how much work he has to do to cover
Oh, yeah.
all the holes with the lack of point of attack defense. And Yoke's just not going to erase shots at the rim, so he's working overtime defensively. But I agree. I mean, I think Utah's going to stretch the floor. I think they're going to need Grant's three-point shooting, and really that athletic threat that Millsap just does not provide at all right now.
Well, on the subject of defense, I thought Grant's what?
Comments. I'm sorry. Somebody said that what he said. Bloody hell, mate! You left some shrimps on the Barbie. Crack a tin and bulge a bit more.
Was that
That's what he
Joe
read-
Ingles or
No, that's what he said to. That's what Jamal Murray said to Joe.
what was I saying? On the subject of defense, so in overtime, I think the Nuggets.
You got to Photoshop Jamal Murray cooking Joe Ingles on the Barbie.
Can we let Harrison get a point out, guys?
Sorry,
I'm trying
go
to
for
listen to Harrison.
Overtime, okay?
Okay.
3 straight turnovers from Utah.
Yeah.
Midway through overtime, that kind of sealed the game.
Great. I
Jeremy
love
Grant was huge on the backside defensively on at least 2 of those 3 possessions. I'll have to go back and watch, but he wasn't able to contain Mitchell on the perimeter. Nobody was today.
Yeah.
But he did have some really encouraging moments and like some really strong defensive rotations in overtime that were huge. Huge. And I mean, if he's making those plays, yes, you're probably going to play him over Paul Millsap, especially late in games.
Do you know Grant had 0 rebounds?
Yeah, I do know that. I mean, that's Grant. I mean, honestly, it was only down by 2 of what I would have expected. I would have guessed he would have gotten 2 rebounds. So, I think with Jeremy Grant, that's kind of who he is. I just don't know that you're going to get a ton of that from him. But your point tonight, Donovan Mitchell was getting into the paint. He was getting into the teeth of the defense, and he was finishing. There was a point when Torrey Craig checked back into the fourth quarter that at least slows him a little bit. The team's keying in on him, and Jeremy Grant was making that read on the backside to get those steals, and that was huge. I also think, and I wrote about this also on the list of previewing the series, Denver's length. I don't know if it's going to fully be actualized this year because Michael Porter's got a long way to go defensively. But the combination of Porter and Grant on the wings or just at the forward spot, there's so much length there that those types of passes, the window gets so much shorter. And I do think that, to me, that's a real thing about this team going forward is not just crowding the ball with length or whatever, but you got to be right on target to make those sort of cross-court passes. Mitchell was not.
I mean, I don't really blame Mitchell for wearing out a little bit in overtime.
Oh, no. Do you think he did enough in the first
Well,
period?
good thing he gets a lot of rest. They'll be back on Wednesday.
yeah.
And he'll need to score 60. He now knows that that's the target
Can we
number.
just take one moment, just a second here, like where we are, where we've been this season, ups, downs.
It is hard to believe we're actually
Pandemics.
sitting here right now.
Is it going to happen?
Mailboxes, tons of stuff happening.
Mail form, like Jokic is fat, Jokic is sad.
He's too skinny.
And this, like, it's all for like this moment. Like this
It's so
is what
true.
like
This is the payoff.
Whatever. I mean, I don't even like. I mean, I believe in my heart that
Eric's
they're
about to black
steamroll, them the rest of this series. But like, this is why you watch sports. This moment, like, I feel so good right now.
I think I'm glad you do.
That was an Eric
that was-
Osophy.
That was really good. I hope you guys
I feel
played some
great.
like.
You guys- don't you
I have
feel
a great
great?
song
I
for
feel
these types of
great.
moments. I'll have to show you guys for later on. Another guy. Before we look ahead to this upcoming game, we have to talk about Monte Morris.
Yeah.
Because to me, Monte Morris was a huge question mark here. I think he's a great player. I think he had a very good bubble. But last year he was terrible. He hits a 3 right off the bat in this game.
Yeah.
And I think all of Nuggets. Nuggets fans just kind of sighed like, oh, God, thank God he hit that. And he hits that one. Then he hits a huge one down the stretch. A huge one because Jamal Murray had taken over. There was one shot that wasn't Jamal. It was Monte, and he hit it.
Yeah, he was great tonight. And going back to that playoff performance last year, like, I've got to think that absolutely killed him.
8 at him.
After the regular season that he had. You know, we were talking about him as maybe the best backup point guard in
We
the
were,
league.
yeah.
At least in the top 3 of that discussion.
We were talking about that.
And then for him to just go out in the postseason and just be a huge minus.
Something
Like, that whole
had to have
bench
been
unit
up,
was terrible, but Monte just didn't have it. Similar to the fact of MPJ seeing some shots go through the rim early in that first quarter. That was
Yeah.
big. Monte getting a couple threes to drop. And he was
take.
also good in other parts of his game.
He
tonight,
was,
I
yeah.
thought,
Oh, he
too.
was great tonight.
Yeah.
Great
Struggled guarding Mitchell, but I mean,
Well,
everybody on the team did. But there was a couple times where I thought, okay, let's see what he's got here, and Mitchell just went right around him like he wasn't even there. So that's a little bit of an issue.
Sorry,
but
someone wants Harrison Wind to know that Joe Harris just buried a 3 from the corner. So there's
Joe Harris, America's shooting guard.
I think they're down by 20.
America's shooting guard, Joe Harris.
Are there any other comments or questions or anything that you're seeing recurring production staff? They're like a recurring sort of idea people have. If you have them, you can keep sending them in. But I do want to look ahead now. So what does this game mean? What's going to be better in the second game? How do you feel about it now? You know, after having seen this one, I'll go to the pragmatic man.
Okay.
first.
I don't know how much you guys talked about like the first half, like the first 3 quarters, and Jokic's
We tried to
game.
avoid it.
It didn't seem like the Denver Nuggets were playing their type of basketball in the first half, in the third quarter. Jokic, yes, he was putting up points. Yes, he was taking shots, a lot of threes, but it just didn't really seem like it was his type of offense. Didn't really seem like we were getting that creativity
Ball
from
wasn't
Jokic.
popping.
Ball wasn't popping. There was a lot of standing and watching.
Only
like-
23 total assists tonight. I mean, that's not Nuggets basketball.
Yeah,
That's gotta be up.
Jokic would just get the ball against Rudy Gobert in the post. Everybody else would stand and watch.
Sure.
So I will be looking to see, if the Nuggets can get some more movement off the ball and just kind of get back to their brand of offense in Game 2. Because I'm with Eric. I think they could blow the Jazz out of the water after this game. I think that's on the table. But that will be a key for sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, we've seen now 2 games in a row against the Jazz that have gone into overtime.
That's 2 games in a row in overtime.
This is a strong
Imagine
beer.
thinking this series should be in the morning.
Yeah.
Did you see what Michael Malone said?
What'd he say?
After the game? He said,
I was literally right here.
I didn't know if you saw it on Twitter, but he said apparently not a lot of people around the league were that interested in a Nuggets Jazz matchup. They put us at 1:30 p.m. on the Oxygen Network.
Yes, love it. Love it. He might get fined for
Mike
that.
Malone. I'm such a Mike Malone stan.
Game 5 is definitely going to be at like 1 Eastern time.
But so in the matchup a week ago or whatever, the Jazz were really spreading it around. Like they were all hitting threes in the first half, and we talked about that was their best shot. So, okay, that didn't work. They can't really rely on everybody. So, like, okay, let's just put the ball in Donovan Mitchell's hands. He can go superhero mode. That doesn't work. I don't know
almost
what.
worked.
But it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they have left. Like, I really don't know what else they have left.
I'll give you a couple things here. One, they shot 34%. And that's going to happen. I mean, we talked about this in the pregame. They're not always going to make 50% like they were throughout the regular season against Denver. They're going to have games where they're off. And there was one, Niang, 3 chances in a row at knocking down a
someone at
three-pointer.
hardwood paroxysm.
I just want to say he had 7 points. So maybe not quite that. But to be fair, though, he
missed 3 straight threes in the corner.
Threes that were not very contested.
The whole time.
But those type of bounces, I don't think always going to go in Denver's favor. And then, by the way, Denver shot 54% tonight from 3.
Right.
Also not always going to happen. So they won that edge. So there is some areas of regression, I think, there. Game 2, though. What
rebound the basketball.
Yeah, there was some tough rebound breaks.
I mean, it's the timeliness of it, maybe more than the raw numbers, which I actually have not looked at
52
yet.
to 41. Denver doesn't get out rebounded much.
So
they got out rebounded.
I mean, like, you got it. Utah has a hard enough time getting offense. Don't give them second chances.
100% true.
The threes might regress, but like, or move closer back to that level. They might shoot better. But what is? Like, does Donovan Mitchell drop 50 every night? So
here's the thing: is that MPJ did not have a very good game. This was MPJ's first. I mean, by the standards he set in the bubble.
I'm not convinced that part isn't one that's going to go back and forth. I'm not convinced yet.
I'm saying my point is that like if you get the effort you get out of Murray, which I believe is the new standard, you get a B+ game out of Jokic.
That's might win the title.
That's not even the best. That's not even the best that Jokic can play. And we got maybe a C effort from Michael Porter Jr. This was his first playoff game, even though there's no crowds. You probably felt a little nerves. He probably also was tired because it was morning. And
let's get out of here, man. They've been playing at like 1 this whole time.
Adam,
their 7th game at 1.
That's a reoccurring comment on here is that MPJ didn't have the best game.
Again, though, here's the thing about MPJ. It's really hard when you're the guy that everyone's looking at. And he was. I mean, the Jazz were putting him in the center of attention, the center of the action. It's hard to say, like, we'll now go down and make every shot and punish him.
And you're a rookie, by the way.
Especially when you're a rookie. I do think at some point it's going to be one of those things where it's like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm going to score on
eventually.
But you can't mark MPJ down for dominant.
Yeah, you can't.
For dominant games, but you can mark him down for having a few.
I mean, if he had come out and dominated today, then we're like...
I'm not saying this as a complaint, but Michael Malone didn't trust him down the stretch, and I don't think he deserved it. Like I think it was correct the way Michael Malone obviously it was correct how he handled it. But I just kind of expect that, especially early on. And I think Michael Porter sees it. I don't think there's going to be any like, well, how come I didn't play? It's going to be like, wow, they really went at me there for a while.
And I guarantee you that there will be a 4th quarter where he does trust him,
right?
And then MPJ makes like 1 or 2 big defensive plays, and you're like, oh, the moment.
Can I give a take?
Nope.
Sure.
Okay,
it's your show.
Rhetorical question here.
Throw him out.
I think it's important that Denver gets an early lead in this series for that very reason. Not just because like the more you let this go on, then Mike Conley returns, and then like anything else. But if you can get up 2-0, 3-1, 3-0, anywhere in there, I do think there's an opportunity to tell Michael Porter, I trust you. Go out there, like, let's see what happens to you. And you can play now 4th, because there's playoff minutes, and then there's playoff 4th quarter minutes. And those, that's even more.
Yep.
It's the most pressure you can get.
Yeah, I really, I mean, what a shame that we don't get, like, real playoff crowds to sort of see, like, the metal really tested of both of these squads. Like, I mean, but at the same point in time, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to have crowds this entire time. The intensity is only going to be internal. We're not going to have that external feeling of the heat of the crowd, bearing down on our young Nuggets. So, I see things just going up and up for Michael Porter Jr. Like, you just get more confident once you've done something.
Yeah. Yep. For me, a couple areas of regression and progression. I think Torrey Craig can play more than 21 minutes. It really concerns me that both times in the bubble now Torrey Craig has fouled out in that matchup. That concerns me, but I think it's going to be something that is hammered home. You can't foul. You're too important. We can't have you fouling.
Or he's just going to – I mean, I bet he fouls out every game, honestly.
But he might foul out – if he fouls out every game in 33 minutes, that's fine.
Right.
If he fouls out every game in 21 minutes where you have to be taken out the entire 3rd quarter, that makes things really, really difficult. So I think that's one area where Denver improves. I think Jokic is going to be better. He finishes 11 of 21. The numbers look good, but I want to see him. I predicted it. I want to see him dominate that matchup. And I didn't think he was going to dominate every single time they stepped on the court in the series. But this is one where I would not consider he dominated.
Oh, man. Rudy Gobert probably outplayed him for
certainly for expectations.
Quarters, maybe, at the most.
So that's one area I think Denver gets better. And then I just think Jeremy Grant maybe plays even a little bit more. The Grant Millsap thing, I think as the series goes on, Jeremy
Grant played 40 tonight.
Yeah, he did play 40, so he did play a lot of minutes.
We gotta see what the Nuggets have when they walk into a hostile environment and we see the Utah Jazz logos superimposed on the same floor.
That's going to be so tough. Areas I don't think Denver's going to shoot 53%. I don't know that Monte and Torrey Craig are going to combine to go 5 of 8. That's another sort of found money one. If you add PJ Dozier to there, you get 6 of 10. That's really good from those guys. And then I think Michael Porter Jr. will probably make a few more of his shots. He started out making some, but I think he's going to get a little bit more. So some things I think are going to go up, some things are going to go down. But I am encouraged overall that Denver was able to pull out a game that I thought was definitely not worth it.
Man, if you were going to script Utah winning game 1, this had 98%.
So
this had 98% of that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mitchell goes off. Yoke loses the Gobert matchup. MPJ doesn't play well. They out-rebound Denver, which might not happen going forward, and yet they lose. So
you really felt the Gary Harris absence, though, in that Torrey Craig going out, and it was like, oh, God, so who's going to guard him now? Like, I don't even know who. And
Jeremy Grant's next up.
Next man up.
Oh, yeah, Torrey's going to be so big in this series because of his defense, obviously, and then his three-point shooting, because he's the guy Utah's going to be leaving open every single time.
He stepped up.
He was 3 of 5 from 3 tonight.
Absolutely
that was huge.
up.
And he's
salute to you, sir.
He's clearly not following Eric on Twitter. Like, he's going to shoot if he's open.
And
I do think that's important.
He has to.
He should shoot, and he should not follow me on Twitter.
I mean, he took 7 shots tonight, guys. That's like what he needs to take. Any other thoughts before we bounce out of here? Do we have anything else? You have something else you want? Oh, he made a Photoshop, and he is ready to display it here before we get out of here.
While we
producer guy. Oh God, do we have to stall again?
I know that Utah was feeding the hot hands
guy
down in Mitchell down the stretch, as they should have. But like, if the Nuggets are going to drop too, like in pick and roll coverage, like feed Gobert. I mean, Jokic's defensive effort was so low. I was surprised Utah went away from that a little bit because there were a lot of easy buckets for that guy, and he's not a big threat offensively, but. I mean, in the third,
let me ask Serbia. Let me ask Serbia this. Serbia, if you're in the comments here.
Oh, they're in there.
Jokic, not a great night tonight, and missed the game winner. There's reason for me to think Jokic is going to come out a little hungry in game 2. I think Jokic might have a little knocked in him.
Oh, dude, come on, man.
Serbia, tell me if I'm wrong. Look, I have so much faith in him. I don't think he's going to have 2 not A+ games in a row. He's going to have an A+ game at least every other time.
The goalposts on Nikola Jokic.
He did have 29 and 10.
Perpetually.
Larry Bird. Hey man, I'm the one guy that when Popovich called him Larry Bird, I'm like, yes, let's listen. He didn't play like Larry Bird tonight, so yes, the goalposts are very high.
29 and 10 against the best defender at his position in the league,
matter.
and it didn't feel like a good game.
I bet Larry Bird had games that looked exactly like this.
He didn't.
I bet he played exactly like.
He didn't have any bad games. Neither did Michael Jordan. You can just get there. 8 of 10, gonna do better. All right, that sounds good.
I'd give him an 8.
All right, sounds
He's
all right.
not as strong, Serbia says. Don't worry about him.
Exactly, guys. I'm not criticizing Jokic because I don't love. Of course, I love this dude. I moved the goalpost because I believe in him.
Yeah.
All right, do we have this Photoshop? What are we doing here?
Maybe PJ Dozier is the other option if Torrey Craig fouls out and you're not liking Grant's defense.
They put him in.
He
did some things. He had some moments.
Dozier had a decent game.
It's not Troy Daniels.
It's not going to be Troy Daniels.
Are you guys ready?
All right, I have no idea what this is, but the producers are very excited, and it is Jamal Murray. He put a little Joe. Well, that's a little dark. That's like a severed head of Joe Ingles. Wow,
that's got guys' fingerprints written all over it.
We are now canceled.
This is like an episode of Dexter. This is
an episode of Dexter. Wow. He put a little Eagles on the Barbie. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to click the like button and click the subscribe button on YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your people in Utah. Tell them all. And we're going to be back again. Don't forget, Keeping It 1000 podcast with George Carl.
Great
if you're
episode.
If you're seeing this, you can't always tune in. This also becomes the DNVR Nuggets podcast, the #1 rated. I don't know if you guys saw the #1 most popular Denver Nuggets podcast on the web.
Tight.
Wow.
So you can go ahead on
Look at
iTunes or
that.
Stitcher, Spotify, wherever, and make sure that you subscribe. And then, of course, you can become a DNVR member, $5 a month. We got all kinds of cool stuff. And you get a free shirt. Maybe the Sombor Shuffle can come to you for free when you sign up. Thanks, everybody.
We love
Cue
you.
that outro
We love
music.
you.
Winners
we'll see you
Lounge.
tomorrow.
Treat your Monday like a Friday. Get lit. It's dope.
Let's go.